Go.
We are going to present you this time the second package application that we have built, which is called Business Quiz. This application is dedicated for events or companies who wish to establish in their side some e-learning or marketing approach or something like that, based on a set of questions which are organized in a team or categories. So the interesting part of the interesting part of this quiz application is that all the set of questions, of course, is fully configurable and specified by the customers for which we sell this tool. This application is one of the most which is appreciated today as a ready-made application, and it has been already deployed many times. So for events or customers, we have already some customers which are using it for e-learning, for instance, in their own team. So the first thing that we have here, we have a set of team which are organized by a dedicated color, which is specified during configuration, or we could imagine to have different pictures which are attached to the set of questions. In each of these teams, we can rotate to a potential user which is in the other side of the table, and then any users can participate individually to each set of questions of his own interest. For instance, if I'm interested on the planet or the sun, I can select this type of categories. Or if I'm interested in capitals in Europe, I can select this one, or anyone can choose the one that he wants, in fact. So this engaged the multi-user applications here. So let's take the first application. And the first thing that we have here is that for each user who select the set of question of categories, he has to enter fill up some information for him. During that time, if we think about marketing approach of the application, information of the user is stored on an SQL Server Express database inside the table, and the customer, after the event or after the seminar, can exploit the information which has been collected for the users which has participated to the quiz. So if I fill up the first information, for instance, I can fill up freely here. Let's put something not really interesting for the mail, for whatever, I don't care here. Then we can validate the question. Then I have a second user here, for instance. And as you can see, we have different set of questions here. We can see that this is dedicated to the previous selected category, and this user has another set of questions. So each of the participants here can now answer freely to the dedicated the question type that they have selected, and there is no, let's say, no gain in fact, except that this mode is really for use for learning purpose. So let's go to the end of the quiz, for instance, here, in order to see how it behaves. Like this, we have a set of 10 questions, for instance, here, and you can see that it's already quite long. And at the end of the questionnaire, you have the card of the user which has participated to the question, and the score which is displayed on the top right position here. And this information are also recorded in the database. So this is the first mode of this quiz, which is, as you can see, freely configurable and accessible based on the set of questions which is on the screen here. One part of this application is that it can be adjustable online through a small card here that we have defined with a tag access at the back, which is directly printed on the card. And this card allows us to access a configuration panel in order to change the behavior of the application online. We drop the card on the surface, and we have a configuration plan here. We can see with different variation here. We have the mode of the quiz, in which way you want the quiz behaves. So the mode that we were showing us today, right now, before, it was the free mode. or we can choose it to work on the contest mode that we will see in a few minutes. Then we have here the number of participants of the quiz for the day, and then the total users which has used the application. Then you can make some statistic here. If we select the contest mode here, contest mode is a mode where you can, all users is answering from the same set of questions. And the set of questions that you want to give or brings to your users, you can select it here from this list, which has been defined during the configuration, and you select the type of questionnaire that you want to give to all your users or visitors on an event that you would like them to answer. So let's select the planets here, and then we will go and participate now to the second way of using this quiz application in this contest mode, where you will see all the users have the access to their own, to the single set of questions. So now the only difference here is that in order to call the user card, every user can point directly on the table, hold their finger, and then you have an ID card, similar as before, in order to fill up individually the whole set of questions. If we think that of a multi-user environment here, you can imagine that you have, of course, your 10 fingers here and any type of cards that you want to be shown. So let's fill up only one card just to save time a little bit. Here is. And now, if I call a second card, sorry. Okay, and then you can see that now for every user the same set of questions is displayed, and then freely every user can answer his own questionnaire based on this card that he has in front of him. So let's fill up this field for the few remaining things. I don't know what is the proper answer, but that's not the goal of the application. Alright, first card is finished, and second card is finished. Same thing as before, the score of the participant, and everything is stored in the database, local database. Then at this time, what is interesting during this mode is that at the end of the session or at the end of an event, the owner of this card can then select at a dedicated time or prefer opportunities to see the potential winners during the whole question set. So we have the same configuration as before online. We see that the number of participants has increased, and here I can define if I want to select the winner at the end of the session or at the end of the event. And then on an event, the winner will come back home with rewards that you have given after that. So I select the winner, for instance, here to display the winner, and during that time I have the list of the winner which is selected from the database here. I have two actually, two at 60%. So it takes the maximum range of the good answers and the time. Based on this winner, you can reward this winner at the same time, and you have the set of answer or correct answer that you have replied with all the questionnaire for this particular application. When it's complete, you can take the answer, feed it back in the trash here, and arrange your desktop. There could be some easy way, but this is a fancy way to clean up everything. Then we clean the questionnaire here. Alright. And then again for the same card, drop it on the table, and we are able at the second time to come back to the free mode as we were initially at the startup of the application. We have also an option where you can insert a USB key inside this application, and you can export the data stored in the database to Excel sheet. So this was our business quiz for Surface, which was dedicated for event or e-learning, and thank you for seeing it.